And our apologies to Thoroughbred Racing fans, especially those that had their tape players set for 3:30 Eastern. But you won't miss a thing. We've got coming up live for you coverage of the Grade 1 Turf Classic, and then on tape, the Vosburgh. Let's set up the Turf Classic for you now. This is the premier grass event of the fall in New York. $500,000, a mile and a half, all carrying 126 pounds for thoroughbreds 3 and up. It is going to be on the Widener Turf course, and that course today listed as firm. Now, certainly this race has had quite an impact on Racing's Championship Day. Since 1984, the Turf Classic has provided 2 winners of the Breeders' Cup Turf, Manila and Theatrical, and 4 that have been runner-ups. Quite an impact on that $2 million Breeders' Cup Turf event. The horses are in the paddock. We're going to introduce you to the field now for the Turf Classic as we join the man who'll call the race for us this afternoon, the voice of the Breeders' Cup, Tom Durkin.
This year's Turf Classic is a small field, but it's a strong field. Only 6 runners. It has lured America's top-rated grass runner, the 2 top-rated grass runners in New York, and an outstanding invader from Europe. Let's meet them, shall we? Libor is the weaker half of an entry trained by Pat Kelly. No weakling is Solar Splendor, who won this race last year and comes off a victory in the Man of War here 2 weeks ago. Phrase, by virtue of his victory in the Sword Dancer at Saratoga, is rated just behind Solar Splendor in the local turf rankings. Adam Smith is owned by Lord White of Hull. We found out his real name is Gordon. Titles aside, Adam Smith doesn't rate too much consideration today. Telkel is a multiple Grade 1 winner in Europe, solid, hard-hitting, a first-rate mile-and-a-halfer. Wally Swinburne rides, and he makes the trip across the Atlantic today. Sky Classic, rated as North America's best grass horse, 4 graded stakes wins this year, but he has yet to win a Grade 1 in 1992. Telkel is the French invader, and Europeans have a terrific record in the 16 years of this race. They've won it 5 times. Just missed in a photo last year with Dear Doctor. Cacahuetes 2 years ago indeed set the stakes record. Europeans love to run here at Belmont Park. The purses are one reason they're going for $500,000 today, but there are others. The commute is easy, 6 hours by plane, no connecting flights, and conditions are similar to those in Europe. The climate is the same. Even the pace of the races here run at Belmont Park are similar. On the grass, slow early, fast late. And the course that they'll be running on today is the kind they are familiar with and enjoy. There's a long and unhurried run going into the first turn over this Widener turf course, which is 1.25 miles in circumference. And there are only 2 turns. Most American tracks require 3 to get 1.5 miles, and the turns are long, sweeping, and gentle, something that those long striding horses appreciate, and something akin to courses over in Europe. Those are the facts about horses coming over to Belmont Park to run on the grass. Here are the opinions. I think one of the reasons they've done so well here is that the plain fact is at 1.5 miles on the turf, under these conditions, the Europeans are just a little better. We'll see if that's the case when Telkel runs this afternoon.
Well, Tom, right now, the New York betting fans, they like the local horses. I say the North American horses, because right now, Sky Classic, the Canadian, is the even odds-on favorite right now. And the entry with Solar Splendor is the second choice at 2-1. Let's go to Charles C. Kenny now with the trainer of the favorite, Sky Classic's Jim Day.
It's a pleasure for Jim Day to train Sky Classic, I'm sure. The horse has won 14 of 27 lifetime starts, earned $2.5 million. He's a horse with a very strong will to win, Jim, which is what surprised a lot of us when he got caught after having the lead in the Arlington Million by Dear Doctor and got beat. What happened?
Well, Charles, I think Pat Day felt that the speed stopped on a little bit early in the Arlington Million and left him holding the bag on the lead very early in the stretch. And then when Golden Pheasant came to him and made a big run, he responded to that challenge. And Dear Doctor actually got to him and absolutely optimum time just at the very last, probably the last couple of jumps before the wire. Looked like he was going to run by him very clearly.
He's in the Red Silks. They're moving to the lead right now.
Which is a little earlier than Pat wanted to be in the lead. And he responded to Golden Pheasant, and then Dear Doctor just kind of zinged by him on the inside the very last jump. And as he responded back to Dear Doctor, the race was over.
Looked like he would get him if he'd had a few more jumps.
Another few jumps would have helped, but it wasn't meant to be, and the race is over, and Dear Doctor ran a great race, and you know, that one's behind us now.
No particular pace here today. Is that going to be a problem for you?
I don't think so. He's learned to relax and be much kinder than he has been in the past, and I would expect him to he'll probably be sitting reasonably close to the pace, but who knows how it's going to unravel. He might end up being on the lead. You never know.
Yeah, you can bank on Sky Classic making a big run late. Good luck to you, Jim.
Thank you.
We'll go back out front to Chris.
All right, Chelsea, North America's premier turf horse, Sky Classic, defending the North American turf against some outstanding foreign invaders. As you see, the horses are on the track for the Turf Classic. We'll be back with more from New York. Solar Splendor, Phrase at 5-1, carrying the Paulson Silks. Adam Smith, 23-1 from England. From France, Tel Quel is 5-2, getting support. And there is the favorite, Sky Classic, 6-5, and now he is just clicked as the odds-on favorite.
Here today, Chris.
All right, thank you, Chelsea. You're taking a look at Phrase now, the 2-horse. And let's go to Tom Durkin now. Tom?
And Phrase is our Budweiser long shot. By virtue of his impressive victory in the Sword Dancer 2 races back at Saratoga as he moves in. His last race, he had a deceptively bad trip going wide while the pace was the fastest part of the Man O' War Stakes. So we like Phrase as our Bud long shot today. It might be the Phrase that pays. The horses have reached the starting gate, loading up for the Turf Classic. Waiting for Tel Quel and Sky Classic. There's Solar Splendor moving into line. Sky Classic, Pat Day would like to have a target to run at. I doubt very seriously if he's going to put him on the lead. We'll see what happens as the race develops in this Turf Classic. They're in the gate, and they're off. Solar Splendor breaks alertly to his inside. Adam Smith has come out running second, and Pat Day reins in Sky Classic early. He's running third now on the outside. Tel Quel will draft in behind Sky Classic as they pass us for the first time. Phrase is reserved near the back of the pack. He's about 6 lengths from Solar Splendor, and Libor trails the field. And now European Adam Smith is coming up to dispute the early pace, and he goes on to grab it now. It's Adam Smith who leads the way into the first turn. Solar Splendor has conceded the early lead, and he's tracked by Sky Classic right there, drafting in behind Solar Splendor. Tel Quel is running along easily in 4th position. 3.5 lengths back to Phrase, who is content to race well behind the lead now. Libor trails the field. The opening quarter went in 24 1/5 seconds. The half in an easy 48 1. It's Adam Smith who leads the way into the backstretch. Solar Splendor still running, reserved in second. On the inside, Sky Classic, he's had an uneventful trip so far. He's third toward the inside, with Tel Quel right to his outside. A break of 6 back to Phrase and Libor as they continue their run up the backstretch. Long shot, Adam Smith on an uncontested lead. He's giving them the slip down the backstretch. He leads by 3. Solar Splendor now being called on for a bit more run from Herb McCauley, and still Sky Classic remains at the inside with Tel Quel alongside him. 3/4 in 1:11 4. They're moving into the far turn. It's still Adam Smith, and now Solar Splendor makes his move, and there goes Solar Splendor on the outside, and he overpowers Adam Smith to take a short lead. Tel Quel is right there. He's in with a very good chance as they approach the midway point on the turn. Sky Classic has now dropped 3.5 lengths from the lead, and Phrase is mounting his bid on the outside. They're moving toward the top of the stretch, and it is Solar Splendor in front by length. Adam Smith is second. Tel Quel right there on the outside in good striking position. Now Day looking for daylight with Sky Classic, and Phrase is right there on the outside. They're coming to the final furlong. Solar Splendor digs down deep, and Sky Classic runs by. Sky Classic takes the lead. Phrase on the outside, now second. Solar Splendor is weakened back in third, and it will be Sky Classic full of run under the line to win by 2 decisive lengths. Phrase was second, Solar Splendor was third. And the time for the race here was 2 minutes, 24 2/5 seconds. He has just broken Secretariat's stakes record and course record.
A smashing performance by North America's best turf star, Sky Classic. You heard Tom Durkin say he has broken Secretariat's record, 2:24 2. The unofficial winner, Sky Classic, his first Grade 1 victory for this outstanding Canadian bred, who coming into this race had won more than $2.5 million for Ernie Samuels, Sam's Sun Farm. Sky Classic wins as North America defends her turf. Cup Series, and you're looking at Sky Classic, the unofficial winner of the Turf Classic, and the horse that has unofficially broken Secretariat's 19-year-old turf record. He covered the 1.5 in 2:24 2, 2/5 faster than the legendary Secretariat rider Pat Day. And let's take a look at it again with Tom Durkin.
And as we see the field turning for home, Sky Classic in the red and yellow sleeves. in behind Solar Splendor is just beginning to weaken. Pat Day finds a seam. He will look only to the outside to see if competition is coming because he knows he has already defeated Solar Splendor. With this victory, and there's a lot of racing left until Breeders' Cup time, you have to start considering that horse coming underneath the wire as a candidate for Horse of the Year. A very impressive victory. Again, there's a lot of racing left before that Horse of the Year title is decided, but he looked pretty good this afternoon. Chris?
Tom, it was 1, 2, 3 for the North Americans. Solar Splendor finishing in the 3rd spot, and the Bud Longshot phrase. Madeline Paulson was 2nd to Sky Classic. Pat Day gets off. We'll be back with more of our Turf Classic Secretariat's 19-year-old turf record, 1.5 miles in 2:24 and 2 should be the official time there for Sky Classic. Phrase running 2nd, our Bud Longshot, and Solar Splendor was 3rd. The best European, Telquel from France, running 4th. The 5-2 exactor paying $19.40. There you take a look at Pat Day receiving the Turf Classic and Furlong Sprint race worth $200,000. 2 winners of this race have gone on to win Breeders' Cup Sprint events, or 2 horses, we should say, competing, have gone on to win Breeders' Cup Sprint. Look at the field now. 7, Rubiano, Fly So Free at 8-5. Been along at 40. Salt Lake won the Fall Highway to 7. Dixie Brass, the Met Mile winner. The 5 horse is the defending Breeders' Cup Sprint champion, Sheikh Albadou from Europe. Burn Fair and the 3-year-old Furiously. He just won the Jerome. Now let's go to Tom Durkin's call earlier of the big event here at the Vosburgh.
And they're off. Burn Fair out first. Salt Lake also away quickly. And Dixie Brass, and it's Dixie Brass who takes the lead early. Toward the inside, Salt Lake, and there's Sheikh Albadou out there running 3rd. Burn Fair is 4th. Furiously is 4 wide 5th. Fly So Free is racing 6th, and the gray Rubiano is 7th toward the inside, but he's only 3 lengths from the lead. Far behind is Binalong as they move up the backstretch. Dixie Brass rattles off the first quarter in 22 and 3, and Salt Lake is to his inside, and he's moving on through now to challenge for the lead. Furiously is caught 4 wide. Sheikh Albadou is right there, a threatening presence as they move around the far turn, and Salt Lake has seized the lead. Dixie Brass retreats. Sheikh Albadou right there, and they've run a half in 45 and 2/5 seconds, and Rubiano is just in behind the lead. He'll need running room as they come toward the top of the stretch. Burn Fair is 4th, and Furiously is 5th. It's Salt Lake in front. Sheikh Albadou breathing down his neck. Rubiano trying to squeeze through a narrow opening toward the inside. Salt Lake is brave on the lead. Sheikh Albadou is on the attack, and now Rubiano has to switch to the outside, and Sheikh Albadou has taken the lead. Salt Lake brave. Rubiano charging hard. Here comes the big brave Rubiano, and he nails Sheikh Albadou on the wire. After anxious moments in mid-stretch, Julie Crone angles Rubiano out to win the Vosburgh, and the time was 1:22 and 4.
The 53rd running of the Vosburgh, and tremendous ride by Julie Crone, pulling Rubiano out there and on to victory. Rubiano, a 5-year-old horse by Fabiano, owned by Centennial Farm, trained by Scotty Schulhofer, wins the Vosburgh in 1:22 and 8. Sheikh Albadou, a good, strong 2nd. Salt Lake was 3rd. Here's the gray Rubiano winning the Vosburgh, and now on to the Breeders' Cup Sprint. Longshot 2nd, Solar Splendor 3rd, Telquel 4th, Lebor 5th, and Adam Smith, who set the early fractions, the horse from England, finishing 6th and last. Well, we promised you a Breeders' Cup preview. I think we delivered here in New York. As you saw, Rubiano, the gray, come on late with Julie Crone to win the Vosburgh, headed now for the Breeders' Cup Sprint. And then Sky Classic, breaking Secretariat's 19-year-old record, winning the Turf Classic. So long, everyone.